friends. Welcome back to On Location Vancouver. I'm your host, Zara Durrani. The show is brought to you with the generous support of TELUS STORYHIVE. Today, we're so excited to be here as we spotlight an organization that has quietly but powerfully transforming lives across our city for over 25 years. Dress for Success Vancouver is dedicated to empowering women and gender diverse individuals on their journey toward meaningful employment, confidence, and financial independence. Founded right here in Vancouver, what began as a small volunteer-led boutique has grown into a full suite of free programs supporting thousands of people across the Lower Mainland. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by two amazing women who are deeply connected to this mission to talk about impact, community, and what it truly means to show up for one another. Joining me today now is Amanda Sayfy. Amanda, thank you so much for welcoming us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for reaching out and for creating this opportunity.
This is incredible. I feel like just before International Women's Day and around the corner is Valentine's Day. So tell us about your role with Dress for Success.
I'm very, very fortunate to be in the role of Executive Director with Dress for Success Vancouver. I joined the organization just around International Women's Day 2 years ago. And my job really is to ensure that we can maintain and grow the impact for our community and helping women and our gender diverse clients access great employment, tap into income mobility, and be able to give back to the Dress for Success community and beyond.
Incredible. For anyone who is not familiar with Dress for Success, can you share with them exactly what Dress for Success offers?
Yeah. So since our founding in 1999, we've really grown beyond just providing workplace attire for the community, for our participants. So we do still, as a core program, provide clothing for interviews, for new employment, for newcomers, for transgender folk in transition. But our services have grown way, way beyond that. We also offer professional development programs, as well as personal development offerings that support women in their journeys. One of our programs is called the Working Women's Group. And in that program, it's a 6-month cohort-based program where participants not only develop a community of peer support, but they have access to monthly workshops and meetings that really promote their professional development. And they're also paired with a mentor. Mentorship, role modeling is something that's so, so important to our cause and throughout women's professional journeys. But what that mentorship does is not only provide that monthly support for our clients, but it also helps them start to build that social capital and those full networks of support that will really support them not only in their current roles, but as they look to grow their journeys as professional women.
So tell us about how does Dress for Success work? Because when I came in here, I saw some folks working here, there's folks working in the back. Are they employed? Are they volunteers?
Yeah, so our organization is very, very much volunteer driven. So as I said, we have nearly 500 volunteers who support us each year in roles as mentors, as workshop speakers, as volunteer stylists, or even sorters behind the scenes who take care of our donations when they come in through clothing drives or from individual donors.
Do you find the volunteers are individuals who have often received the support from Dress for Success?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Absolutely. There is such a beautiful spirit of paying it forward in this organization. There's a really special community that comes together and really wants to support the next woman in her journey. I think I'm going to mess up the expression, but there's one that goes along the lines of, standing on the shoulders of those who have come before us, right? And I do think that there's that spirit of generosity in our community where a participant of the Working Women's Group may then come back and volunteer as a mentor within the program, or someone comes in for their first dressing services appointment, sees that there are opportunities to support the community and might start coming in as a regular volunteer behind the admin desk. So none of this happens without our clothing donations and volunteer hours. I have to say though, coming into the organization, and this is one of the challenges I first identified when I started 2 years ago, is that our our name is so tangible. It really tells people what we do, but the challenge is telling the story beyond that.
I would love to hear over the last 2 years since you've been here, a story or a conversation or feedback from someone that how Dress for Success impacted their lives, like anything that jumps out to you that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, there's one past Working Women's Group participant who comes to mind. Ieba McClayton was actually honored at our 2025 Success Luncheon as our Inspiration Award recipient. And Ieba's from Nigeria. She is a chemical engineer. She came here with her husband and her 3 children. And she had a really tough time establishing herself in the right role. And she shared her story relating back to her communication style. The strength that really benefited her as a professional woman in Nigeria, and maybe some of the nuances that come or need to be translated in a Canadian work environment. So she, in telling her story, in sharing how she was able to build community that provided her the feedback, the encouragement that inspired persistence in her, is really a good example of how we are supporting people. We're helping them, again, figure out those hard and soft skills that they need to take the next step in their professional journeys, no matter where they're coming from, what their current barriers to that successful employment might be, and helping ensure that they have that potential for long-term success.
How do individuals who are new to the country find out about Dress for Success?
Yeah. So when you look at kind of the makeup of the individuals that we're supporting each year, only 20% of them have been born in Canada. So I think that is a really good demonstration of kind of the barriers that come with being a newcomer. We work on an annual basis with about 65 to 70 referral partner agencies. So it might be a Work BC program or a YWCA employment program, or even organizations that might support women who are survivors of gender-based violence, who are referring their clients to us when they have a job interview or an active job search, or whether they might be a good fit for our Working Women's Group. We shifted things a little bit in COVID, though, where we now allow self-referrals. We welcome those self-referrals from individuals in the community who might be in that phase of their job search or their professional journey. So there are 2 different ways to access. One is to be referred through an organization that you might already be working with in your job search. The other opportunity is to just self-refer. So our website has lots and lots of information on there. Individuals can go online, they can request a dressing services appointment, they can inquire about our Working Women's Group, or they can even register for a workshop directly on the website.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. As you look toward the future, what are you most excited about for the organization?
I think in the last year, we've made such a concerted effort to really dig into what is meaningful for our clients. So what is it that is really going to help them in their journeys? What are those outcomes that they need to see in engaging with Dress for Success and receiving our support? So I think that we're really well positioned right now to kind of take that information and translate that into real practical supports for the community. The landscape's changing. The job market is really challenging right now, and the new opportunities are not necessarily coming in the areas where our clients are working. The province just put out their most recent labor market report, actually, and it was a celebration, and rightly so, that there was a net increase in total jobs available. But where were those jobs? They were in construction. They were in major infrastructure, and that's not necessarily where our clients, who are women, who are gender diverse, who are working in an urban center, are seeking opportunities or are qualified for good opportunities. So I think that by really knowing what our clients' needs are, really having a great understanding of the impacts of the economy right now and even global impacts, we have a chance to continue to be really relevant to our community and also grow and evolve to make sure that we're meeting their needs.
Now, any organizations watching this episode, whether through live stream or when it's broadcast, how can they support you? And, we're just kicking off the year. We're in February.
Yeah.
How can support you, whether it is just here or, it could be someone in Alberta who wants to be figuring out their funding and, okay, what organization do I want to support? Okay, I come across this because our show is screened across Alberta and BC.
Okay.
So how can they get in touch?
Although we in Vancouver are an independent registered nonprofit, we also have sister organizations in Kelowna, in central Alberta, as well as in Calgary. Mm-hmm. So I encourage anyone located in these other markets to reach out to their local Dress for Success member. But ways to get involved as a corporate group range from corporate philanthropy, so making a donation to directly support our programs. You can look into group volunteering with us. So that might be bringing a group into our offices to...
That's a great team building.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, it's really great. So coming in to help us sort clothes or get us ready for an upcoming clothing sale that we have, or there are individual opportunities for volunteerism. That I want to bring it back to that fundraising piece though. With our brand, people think first and foremost about doing that clothing drive or bringing a group in to help sort clothes, but we really do need that operational support. And there's some really, really fun ways that corporate groups can do some employee fundraising and engagement and help us with that part of our mission.
Is there anything else you would like to share before we let you go? I know you're really busy.
Well, I want to thank you, first of all. And the last thing that I want to share is actually a testimonial that we collected recently from one of our participants in dressing services. And, we have all of our clients do a survey before they depart after their appointment. But she shared that she never thought that she would be in the position to need this support, that she always thought that when she engaged with Dress for Success, it would be as a donor. So I think that my call to action, if you will, whether it's to Dress for Success or another organization, is to give back to the community when you can, because you never know when you or a loved one or someone in your community might really need that support.
Completely. And that's a good reminder for me to clean out my closet. And next time I come here, bring out, honestly, that was totally the plan, but I'm so busy packing for Milan at the moment because I was like, okay, I have all this stuff I need to get rid of that's sitting in my closet. Yeah. Next time it's going to happen.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm so glad I got to learn so much more about Dress for Success and all the amazing work that you're doing to make impact right here in our community. Joining me now is Vishakha Desai, an ambassador for Dress for Success Vancouver. Vishakha brings years of experience in marketing and community engagement, and for over 5 years has been deeply involved in Dress for Success and its mission. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for giving the opportunity to share my story.
My pleasure. So tell us, how did you come to hear of Dress for Success?
So I came to Canada around 8 years ago as an immigrant. And that point of time, I had no idea what Dress for Success is. I came here on visitor's visa, applied for my work permit, and then applied for my PR. Once I received my PR, someone told me about Dress for Success, and why don't you go check the website, see if they have any programs to offer. I'm like, sure, it sounds like a good opportunity. So I went on the website, came across this program, WWG, which is Working Women's Group. And I really liked the idea of having a cohort-based system, wherein every month, they will have one session and they will call in a speaker. They will have a speaker from the finance background, from human resource background, from cooking background. Anything. It's not just related to one topic. And then they tell you more about that. You can ask questions. You can connect with other people from across BC. So that was interesting. And that's how I reached out to Dress for Success. I enrolled for WWG. And through that, I was exposed to dressing services. So yeah, that's how I came to know about Dress for Success.
Incredible. So from receiving support from Dress for Success to now getting deeply involved, what does being an ambassador mean to you, and what does that role look like?
So once I completed Working Women's Group program, I was given this opportunity to join the ambassador program, wherein they train you how you can share your story, how you can help other women in the community to know about these services. And I felt really grateful that the help and the services I received, maybe I can share it with the fellow women in the community. So,
especially newcomers coming
course.
in, and you move to a new country, you move
Yeah.
to North America, especially from South Asia.
yeah.
Massive difference.
So-
from the language to the culture to the food,
It was a culture shock for me when I came to Canada. I did have experience, but I did not have that Canadian experience over here. So no one actually, although having tons of experience, they were like, oh, you don't have Canadian experience, so you're not welcome at the workforce. I had no idea about what companies want when you go for an interview, what kind of resume you should have, or what kind of interview skills they are looking for when they interview you. And that's the help I needed. That's the help I got through Dress for Success. And after becoming an ambassador, when I got an opportunity to go out in the community, talk about the services we offer, share the story that I have gone through, it creates a lot of impact, because sometimes you don't know, there are so many women out in the community who have gone through the exact journey that you have gone through, or probably you are going through. So listening to our story, they get that self-confidence that, no, I can also do it, so let me give it a try, or let me reach out to Dress for Success and see how it works. And as a part, as an ambassador, I also got the opportunity to join the client advisory group. It was like a short program wherein people from different fields who are part of Dress for Success can come together, and we can assess the programs we currently have, how we can improve those programs for the betterment of other women, and how we can support community in a better manner.
That's truly beautiful. I just like the whole full circle moment. And because you have been in their shoes, you're able to look at it from their eyes.
Correct.
And to see how you can support and give back. We talk a lot about employment, but confidence is such a huge part of this journey. Walking with your shoulders down and head up and chest open, whether into an interview or any conversations, even grocery shopping or walking your dog. Why is that so important in your opinion?
It is important, especially as an immigrant. When I came to Canada, when you are, like you mentioned, right, when you feel confident in what you're wearing, doesn't matter if it's a skirt or if it's like a dress or whatever you might be wearing, the kind of footwear you wear, the kind of hair you do, the kind of the bag you carry, it creates a different self-confidence in you. And somewhere you feel you can also do it, you can also talk to people. What other people expect out of you, you can do it. And the same confidence gets reflected to when you're talking to someone. Today, let's say I'm talking to a woman who is new to the country. But the kind of confidence I will portray on her, she will equally get that confidence. Doesn't matter what kind of clothes you're wearing. You just need to feel confident in your own self and what you're wearing at that point of time.
From what you've seen firsthand, how do you feel Dress for Success changes lives beyond the job?
The most important thing is creating a like-minded community, creating a safe space where you can share your stories. You won't be judged by others. It will give you that self-confidence to be in a room full of women and talk how you feel, how others feel. And sometimes it's okay if you're not 100% success, but at least you gave it a try. So that's what's important. And by offering different kind of programs that boost your self-confidence, it makes a lot of difference.
Incredible. Lastly, if someone is watching right now and they're thinking of getting involved, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't think too much. Just log into dfsvancouver.ca. Reach out to Dress for Success, understand how they can help you, what your requirements are, and I'm sure they will have something to help you out.
Incredible. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. And I must say, I love your blazer.
Oh yes, coming to that, this entire outfit is through dressing services from Dress for Success, and that's what I'm wearing today. I feel confident. I'm very happy that I'm sitting here right now, able to share my story. So yeah, thank you, Dress for Success.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all for watching. I'm Zara Durrani, and we're excited to bring you more community stories brought to you with the support of TELUS STORYHIVE. Thank you for joining us for this episode of On Location Vancouver. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please scan the QR code and someone from our team will be in touch. We'll see you soon.